What you saw today was the installation of what I refer to as the Black Prince, who has been selected to be the first dictator of the United States of America. It is similar to the Hundred Years' War, when England and France were fighting for hundreds of years. England marched into France. Their cavalry marched into France, took over the country. Edward III was ruler of France, killed the king of France. He's now the ruler. The French people have to just shut up, take it, obey his commands. If you want to go into a fictional description, it's almost like that movie Lion King, when Scar killed Mufasa, killed him, threw him off a cliff. Long lived the king, and threw him off. And Scar is now king. And his hyenas are the foot soldiers. Biden is now president, and his hyenas, the Hollywood elite, the media elite, the big tech elite, the National Guard troops. Did you see how many National Guard troops were in Washington? I was reading a report that said that there are more troops in D.C. than there are in Iraq and Afghanistan combined. And I put something on my Instagram. If you're not following me on Instagram, it's the_Arana_nation. I'm not saying I'm going to be on Instagram much longer. And by the way, for my YouTube listeners who are watching this, please, if you're not subscribed to me on BitChute already, there's something wrong with you. I mean, I'm not going to be on YouTube much longer, and I'll be fine with that. I just got out of a 2-week long YouTube jail, and if I go into YouTube jail again, which I know I will, and I don't care, they take down my channel. So if you're not on BitChute already, then you'll never see me again. It's not a matter of if, but when. My days on YouTube are coming to an end. But I put something on Instagram which said, if you need 300,000 troops to protect you and your inauguration from the people, then maybe you weren't elected by the people. Now, I'm sure that's going to Instagram is going to take down my account just for that, and I don't care. I've already been taken off of Facebook, and I'll never go back. I've already been taken. I was never on Twitter. Never, thank goodness. I knew it was a fraud from the beginning. It was obsolete. It was overrated. It's complicated. Never was on it. Never will be on it. And they're going to die out. That's my prediction. It's going to be like MySpace. Facebook might take a little longer, but Twitter is going to die out pretty quickly, I would say. But it's similar to when, in The Lion King, Scar is now the king, okay? And all the lions are hungry and starving. All the animals have left. The Pride Lands is dark and bleak. This was the saddest inauguration I had ever witnessed. I mean, nobody was attending. Remember when Obama was there? Everybody was happy. Even I never liked Obama from the beginning, okay? I was one of the few black people who said he's a fraud. And he turned out to be a fraud. He didn't do anything for black people. He did more for illegals and homosexuals and all that stuff. But even when he was inaugurated, there was a positive atmosphere, the peaceful transfer of power. When Trump was inaugurated, everybody, Washington was so happy. Biden is there, and the only people who watched his inauguration is the former presidents, a small group of senators. Most of the senators didn't show up, and 600,000 National Guard troops. I mean, it is basically, and all the flags were at half-mast. So, and when the flag is at half-mast, it means that America is in distress. I mean, I know they put the flag at half-mast because of what happened at the Capitol, but it's symbolic. America is hurting right now. The people have to Washington is under a military dictatorship, military occupation. You've got soldiers all over the place with guns ready to shoot any American who dares to protest at that inauguration. If you make one noise, remember when Trump was inaugurated, they were burning down the place. They burnt down Larry King's limousine. You remember that? And now they want to pretend like Trump supporters are the most dangerous thing since Al-Qaeda. But when Black Lives Matter, people were burning down entire neighborhoods and invading on people's property. I mean, but we all know that these guys are hypocrites. So I'm not even going to go into that. We know they're hypocrites. It's all an agenda. It's all a part of the New World Order. So me talking about the hypocrisy doesn't make any sense because it's not about hypocrisy. This is all an act. It's a part of the New World Order. America is now in the New World Order. We have been talking about this for years, and it is finally here. Biden rigged the election. Trump's ballots were found in rivers and in garbage cans and in streams all over the place. The voting machines were tampered with, all of that stuff. Biden was selected. He couldn't get any people to go to his rallies. And that is similar to Scar killing Mufasa. Biden killed Donald Trump. Trump is dead. Trump is dead. I mean, whether Simba will come and rescue us, we don't know. But right now, we have to do this. The only thing we have is civil disobedience. And as I sit here right now, I am here to tell you, I will not follow a damn thing Joe Biden my time or Camelback ain't black lock a brother up Harris tell me to do. And that's just a fact. I will not follow a damn thing they say. Not one damn thing. And I'll tell you something else. I'm not afraid of them. I'm not afraid of them. I'm not afraid of their police. I'm not afraid of their National Guard. I'm not afraid of their military. I'm not afraid of a damn thing. I'm not afraid of Biden. I'm not afraid of Camelback. I'm not afraid of Justin Pataki and Mac Daddy Trudeau. I'm not afraid of Doug Ford. I'm not afraid of Emmanuel Macron. I am not afraid of George Soros or Bill Gates. I ain't afraid of any one of them. I have got a rap sheet this big right now. I have been to jail more times in 2020 than you can shake a stick at. I have been in handcuffs more times. First of all, I've never been in handcuffs before until 2020. And the more handcuffs I've been in 2020 is enough to literally change the shape of my hand right now. The imprint of the amount of times I've been in handcuffs is still in my hand, and I'm still not afraid of these people. You can lock me up as many times as you want. You can kill me. You can do whatever you want. But as I sit here now, I'm telling you, there ain't a damn thing I'm going to listen to what Joe or Camelback says to do. And I am encouraging Americans and everybody all over the world who are living in the New World Order to do the same. Because that is the only way we are going to win. And we will. We will. I've heard that Biden already has a bunch of dictates that he's ready to sign when he enters the White House after they've killed off Trump, and now he's going to occupy the White House with all of his 600,000 National Guard troops. He says he's going to force every American to wear a mask for 100 days. And I've even heard that he is going to sign new legislation which is going to be similar to the sedition acts that took place in World War I. If you recall history, in World War I, America, it was illegal to talk bad about America entering the war. Did you know that? In the land of the free, Americans were subject to prison if they questioned America's involvement in World War I. If you said that The founding fathers did not want us to be entangled in foreign wars. We should not be in the war. I disagree with the war. I think conscription is similar to slavery. You were subject to arrest. That was in the land of the bloody free, which America is not anymore. Let's just face facts. And so what I've heard is going to happen is that Biden is going to make new laws which will make it a criminal act to speak about the election being rigged, the 2020 election. It's going to be illegal to talk bad about anything about the vaccines. It's going to be illegal to talk bad or about anything to do with coronavirus. And they're going to say that because if you talk about election rigging, that is stoking up violence. That's what they're going to say. You know, just like they use fear to take away our rights. Just like on 9/11, when Osama allegedly blew up the World Trade Center, which there's a lot of proof that that was an inside job. Just like the Capitol Hill riot was an inside job. That one has been proven. What's his name? John Sullivan, Jaden X, a left-wing activist. He admitted to egging on Trump supporters to go into the Capitol building so that, you know, people would now view Trump supporters as terrorists so that they could, again, use this whole war on terror thing to take away our rights. 9/11, they used American fear to put in the Patriot Act to spy on Americans, tap their phones, take away rights, put people in Guantanamo Bay without trial, waterboarding, all that sort of stuff. It's the same thing that's going to happen here now, except it's going to be domestic terrorism. This is a civil war now. Biden has declared civil war on his own people. And if you talk about the 2020 election being rigged, he's going to say, oh no, that's violence. You're stoking up violence. You're stoking up violence, and you're not allowed to say that. And if you say that, we're going to lock you up. Because that's stoking up violence. If you say that these vaccines are dead, we shouldn't be forcing everybody to be taking vaccines, that's dangerous. The National Health Service in the United Kingdom said if you have allergies, you shouldn't take that vaccine. The Biden and Camelback Ain't Black Locker Brother Up Harris administration is going to say that this is stoking up violence, you're stoking up anger, you're stoking up this and that, lock you up in a concentration camp. That's what they're going to do. That's what Biden has planned right now. He already says he plans on forcing every American to wear a mask for 100 days. If you're out in federal lands or whatever, you better wear it. If you don't, police will point a gun in your head and tell you to drop to your knees and put handcuffs. So Americans need to respond with peaceful civil disobedience. Just don't follow his laws. And I don't care. Look, YouTube is going to watch this video and say, this is bad. You're saying to break the rules. We're taking down your channel. This is my response to YouTube. Go fuck yourself, YouTube. Go to hell. I'm telling you, Americans, from Maine to California, from Texas to North Dakota, from Florida to Michigan, do not obey Joe Biden's commands. Don't obey them. Don't obey them. And I have already decided that I could be killed at any moment. I could be killed at any moment. I am probably on every single government watch list known to man right now. Okay? Every time I cross the U.S.-Canadian border, they tear up these are people who bring in illegals from the United States. They help them with their bags and help them come into Canada. Illegals. We don't know where they are, where they come from, what their intentions are. The Canadian Border Service Agency, they help them with their bags and bring them into Canada, no questions asked. But when a Canadian who's coming back from the United States, who's also an American, dual citizen, comes to Canada, they tear up my vehicle to see if I've got... They never find anything, of course, but they do it because they're told to do it by the government. Because I, the Commander-in-Chief of Arana Nation, is most likely on every single watch list known to man. They want me dead. They want me dead because they know that that's the only way they're going to get me to shut up. They can put me in jail. They can do whatever they want until they put a bullet in my head. I won't shut up. You take away my YouTube, I go on BitChute. You take down BitChute, I go on Parler. You take down Parler, I don't go on Gab. You can't beat me while there's air in my lungs. I have got a rap sheet this big. Many things I've done, I've made mistakes. I will admit I have made mistakes. I have made mistakes in my method of fighting the New World Order. I got carried away. But that's why I'm not calling for offensive violence. Because that pushes us back. Don't go out there and attack police officers. Because they've got their orders, okay? And a lot of these guys, I know many people are going to say, well, that's the same thing that the Nazi stormtrooper said. I was just following. That is true. That you're 100% correct. And when the chips fall, there are going to be a lot of people who are going to not get away with, I was just following orders. But the reason why I'm saying we cannot go out there and attack people who are doing a job, which they rely on a paycheck to feed their family, because a lot of these guys are scared too. And you still have many people out there in the population who don't appreciate the fact that you're going out attacking, people who are doing a job. And quite frankly, that's just not fair. That isn't fair. When we have if and when, the time comes when God says that there's going to be a new way of doing things on earth where we have brand new leadership instead of the New World Order, and there are some Nuremberg trials and stuff, then we can talk about that. But for now, they are doing a job, and it's not going to do us any favor to go out and attack people like that, police and people like that. But I am calling for civil disobedience, 100%, and I'll never withdraw that. If Biden says every single American must take the vaccine, don't take it. Don't take it. Do not take it. Find land out there in Montana or Kansas or Idaho. Go off the grid. And if they come for you and they drag your grandma or they drag your children off to get vaccinated, then you can defend yourself. And I would preferably move to a state like Indiana, which has stand your ground laws, which says, look, even law enforcement, if they're bullying you, if they're doing stuff to you that's unconstitutional, you have the right to defend yourself. Indiana has that law right now. Indiana. Let me look up that law, actually. Indiana has stand your ground laws which state that even law enforcement are subject to be defended against, if they are breaking your civil rights. Stand your ground. Yes, stand your ground in Indiana. Castle laws. It includes officers. And I know a lot of them don't like that, but that's just where you are. But I would move to places like Indiana, Florida. Let's put it this way. A lot of these former Confederate states, like Florida, Georgia, Texas, Tennessee, Kentucky, in this new civil war that America is in, it's going to be in reverse. The former Confederate slave states, in this new civil war, they are going to be the free states. And the former free states in the North, New York, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Massachusetts, Connecticut, all those are going to be the slave states. So in this new civil war that America is in, which includes the entire world, the southern states are going to be the free states, and the northern states are going to be the slave states. But it's even more complicated than that. You need to relocate to an area where right now there is no mask mandate or lockdown mandate because that's going to be an indication that the leadership in those states are going to fight back. And there have been times when states have fought back against the federal government. And I think that's what's going to happen now. Because when Biden comes up and says, well, you know, we're going to start taking everyone's guns away by force, I bet you there are going to be some governors out there who are saying, no, we're not listening. We're not listening. This is going to be a sanctuary gun zone. Just like some of the states didn't listen to Donald Trump when he said no more illegals, California said, we're just not going to listen to you. And I hope we've got state officials who've got the courage and the gonards and the fortitude to do that. You know, California didn't want to listen to Donald Trump when he said stop illegal immigration, stop being a sanctuary city. Well, don't listen to Biden. I'm talking to you, Governor of Florida. I'm talking to you, Governor of Georgia. I'm talking to you, Governor of Indiana. I'm talking to you, Governor of Texas. I'm talking to you, Governor of Montana. I'm talking to all of you. Don't listen to him. We can't rely on voting. We shouldn't be involved in violence because that just sets us back. We tried Donald Trump, and with all of Donald Trump's good points, there are a lot of stuff that he failed to do as well. He didn't go after big tech. He didn't purge the government of the swamp. And many of those government insiders who he let continue doing their work, they turned around and they betrayed him. So there are things that even Trump did. So we have to now rely on, this is not about Trump anymore. Trump is Mufasa. Trump is dead. And he may come back to life and come back in 2024, but we shouldn't even be thinking about that right now. 2024 is a long way away, and we could all be locked up in a concentration camp and dead by now if we wait until then. Civil disobedience. I will not listen to anything that comes out of that Oval Office with Joe Biden sitting in that chair. And finally, before I stop inflicting myself on you any further, you have to understand Joe Biden right now is the biggest puppet alive. I don't even think he knows what's going on right now. He's not the president of the United States. Camelback. Camelback ain't black, lock a brother up Harris. She's the president right now. It's another point in history. You know, the old Kaiser Wilhelm, not Kaiser Wilhelm II, the first one, the last king of Prussia. He was really a puppet. And Bismarck was the one pulling the strings. Bismarck, Camelback ain't black, lock a brother up Harris. She is the new Bismarck. And Joe Biden is the last king of Prussia. He doesn't know what's going on right now. And he used to be a decent, I shouldn't say that because he one of the last senators to ever support integration. He brought in the 1994 crime bill. So he wasn't a decent person, but he's still deep down in that old wrinkly soul of his, forgetful soul. He is still an America lover, but that's been taken from him. He's a puppet now. And Camelback is also a puppet as well. But she is the president who's the puppet of the New World Order. And Biden is the puppet of Camelback. And she is going to make him do some wicked and evil things. But don't fear, my brothers and sisters. It's always darkest before the light, and we are going to win. If we stick to our guns, I applaud all the business people all over the world, in Canada and America, Europe, who are not listening to the lockdown orders. I applaud Rebel, which is giving out the money to support people who are not following the lockdown orders and are disobeying the lockdown orders. Continue to do that. Peaceful civil disobedience. We are winning. The people are slowly coming on our side. You can see it with the polls. You can see it with the reviews. You can see it when it comes to comments on the internet. People are slowly coming on our side. We've got to keep with our civil disobedience. Yesterday was Martin Luther King Day, one of the greatest civil disobedience champions known to man. If we follow his example, civil disobedience, don't fight, don't punch, defend yourself. Defend yourself. Don't let people come breaking into your house, raping your wife, and tearing up her shirt because she's not following Biden's orders. Get people who do that. But don't follow any of Biden's orders. And if you don't do that, his empire comes crumbling down. Because then he can't control us anymore. And if he locks all of us up, then he's got no one to control but the trees and the bushes. And since those things can't follow any orders, then he's got no power left. And if they kill all of us, then they only have themselves to destroy. This is actually, in retrospect, a very glorious day. With all the hatred that is dripping out of these people for Trump and for us, they're going to overplay their hand. And they're going to destroy themselves. And you and me will win if we continue with our civil disobedience. This is the Arana Nation.